Welcome to Direction Northeast. Hello, I'm Montez Bird. This program is a presentation of the Communications Department of Northeast State Community College. In this episode of Direction Northeast, we'll discuss leadership and one man's unique approach to inspire others to achievement.
Going to college was a big decision, but when I graduate from Northeast State, I know I can have a career.
Over half of our employees are graduates of Northeast State Community College.
When we see Northeast State on an application, we always give that candidate a second look.
Our company partners with Northeast State knowing that their students graduate as trained professionals that become our employees both today and into the future.
Discover the career opportunities that await you. Northeast State Community College.
Our guest for this program is a man who embraces competition and uses it to achieve success. He uses inspirational comedy to help his audience understand the battles they face to be successful. He has been featured in the USA Today, Yahoo Finance, CNBC.com, and over 200 media outlets. He's also the author of 4 books and is a nationally recognized voice in perseverance training, self-mastery, and leadership. Odell Bizzell, welcome to Direction Northeast.
Happy to be here. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. You, in high school, you started a candy distribution center, and it gained over $75,000. How did you get started in that?
It was really simple, Montez. What happened was I was in a Spanish class with a young lady that was on the women's basketball team. She was selling these Jolly Rancher suckers, and I wanted one, and she wouldn't give me one until I gave her a quarter. And so then I was like, well, fine, here's a quarter, I want the sucker. Then everybody around her started giving her quarters for these suckers. And I was like, I said, I'm more popular than she is. I think I can do this. And that's kind of how it started. I'm not from the right side of the tracks. My parents couldn't afford a whole lot of things. So I got together with my best friend, Justin, and said, hey man, we're gonna sell some candy and make some money. It happened, we went to a big high school in North Carolina. I was the basketball star, he was the track star. We just posted up during the lunches next to the vending machines, and it really grew from Jolly Rancher suckers to everything that the vending machine had, and we sold it for 10 cents less, so wow. We were a hit.
Wow, man. How do you go from candy store to inspirational speaker, author, and blogger? How do you go from that?
Well, Montez, I'm a believer that nothing in our lives is coincidental. Mm-hmm. I believe that everything is a sign that's pointing us to where we need to be. And so when I was, going through the candy, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just a kid, just having fun, just getting money, going to school. So I graduated, went to North Carolina State University, bought a barbershop, had, real life vending machines, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And a book I like to read says, pride comes before a fall. And so I fell hard before I graduated. Then after I graduated, linking up with some people, they heard about my story. They said, Odell, you need to tell your story. And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? And they said, well, you should be a speaker. They started leading me to different resources. And that's kind of how it happened. Like I had to go way down first before I realized that, what I've done and my experiences can help other people succeed as well.
Were there anyone in your life that said, no, man, motivational speaker isn't the thing for you? Was there anything that discouraged you from going into motivational speaking?
Well, no one person, because most of the people that have met me, that know me, they're like, oh, you're a speaker? Yeah, that makes sense. You're that guy. But it wasn't a person more so as it was, bills. Okay. Bills and having a family. I started my family young, got married, right after college to my wife. I was 22, she was 21. We had our first child. I was 24. So having to balance that to where nobody knew who I was and I'm trying to, be a speaker, that many times caused me to pause and say, am I really going to do this? And so it wasn't a person more so as it was life kind of Bruce Lee kicking me in the face, if you will.
Now, how did you get your name out there as that motivational speaker? How did you get these events? How did people get to know who Odell was?
Well, I guess the best answer to that is perseverance, and identifying who my message spoke the best to. And so when I first started speaking, actually today, I was talking to somebody else about this earlier. Today is the 8-year anniversary of my first paid speech. So it's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I identified, okay, I'm a younger guy starting. So college students will probably listen to me. I kind of still look like them. Maybe I can reach them. So college students and high school organizations is kind of where I started. And then it's just a lot of rejection, just sending people emails, sending your videos, talking to people, going to conferences, and just time doing that consistently is how I got my name out there. I was able to do some cool events with Oprah Winfrey and in Indiana, Dave Letterman. And so after you kind of do those things and your name starts getting out there, then it's like, oh, this dude's pretty cool. So that's kind of how it went.
And you said you've done some things with Oprah and Letterman. How was it meeting Oprah?
Well, with those things, be honest, it's kind of like when you meet somebody, like a huge celebrity, you don't meet them. Mm-hmm. It's like you're there, they're there, and they're the show. Uh-huh. You're like the opening act. So it's kind of like in passing. I often tell people I met Kobe Bryant. And when I met Kobe Bryant at Disney World, it was kind of like, oh, hey, you're Kobe Bryant. I know, see you later. Like it's kind of like that. So meeting them was kind of like that. Just in passing, thousands of people are there to see them, and you just, hey, how's everybody doing? So like that. But what it taught me was the experience. What the experience taught me was how huge influence is, and how just having somebody's name attached to a small thing that you do can help propel you. And so now in a smaller way, of course, I want to do that for other people.
I know that you speak about competition, and you've presented, in the last 3 years, you've presented leadership skills and motivational speeches to over 25,000 students. What competitions have you had to face to overcome to get to that point?
The biggest thing with that, and I tell students all the time, is that we're always in a battle. We're always in a competition. But we're not in competition with the person next to us. We're in competition with us. So the biggest thing I had to overcome was seeing other speakers, doing these great things, speaking in front of, audiences, thousands of people, and I'm, speaking in front of maybe 5 people at a local community college, or 10 people at, a small leadership gathering or something like that. So I had to kind of overcome the competition of looking at everybody else. And one thing I always often say is that if we want to be successful, we cannot look at other people's highlight reels and compare them to our behind the scenes footage. Like, we can't do that. We have to focus and know, well, they're where they are because they went through a lot of stuff. Yeah. And so that's the biggest thing I had to overcome, is just embracing it and saying, you know what, I'm just starting out. Like, I'm really just starting out. At the time when I started, I was in my 20s, early 20s. So it's like, I've got to pay my dues. And after that, then I've been able to get on some of the bigger stages.
Yeah. When you speak about success, what is success to you? What does success means?
Wow. I didn't know I was going to be answering that type of question. But no, success to me at this point in my life, success is being able to do what I love, to live the lifestyle that allows me and my family to live an enjoyable and comfortable life, and to be able to love the way that I want to love. That's what success is to me. When I was younger, Montez, and I was making money with candy, I was like, yo, if I become a millionaire, then I'll be successful. Like, that's what's it. And the more I've grown and learned, it's not about money. Like, you hear people say that and you're like, whatever, you hadn't seen my bank account. But no, it's really not about money. Success is just about Am I living an enjoyable and comfortable life? Am I able to take care of my family? Am I able to be happy and do what it is that I love to do? If I can do those things, I'm successful.
You know, and with young people and their vision of success is, I'm sure it could be a lot different than what yours is. How do a young person see that they've gained that success?
Well, success is progression. You know, I often say success is more about what you become and less about what you obtain. So you're always progressing. If you want to have a successful relationship, the relationship has to continue and has to continue to get over obstacles and go through different things. So I tell young people, well, I think, some young people will say, well, I think I'm successful if I can get this degree, if I can get this job. It's like, okay, well, then what? Yeah. Like, you want to keep progressing so that when you see progression, then you know that I'm becoming successful because I did this here, I did this here, I did that here.
I know that you took, about 3 years ago, you took a leap of faith to decide to go and make professional speaking a business, a full-time business. How does a young person take that leap of faith? What advice would you give them to just get out there and do it?
Well, first thing is you have to take care, Abraham Maslow has hierarchy of needs. You got to make sure that those bottom needs are taken care of, like your food, your shelter. You got to make sure those things are good. And for me, it was difficult because I have a family. And my wife, and we made the decision for her not to work. And so it was kind of like, okay, if I'm going to do this, first off, I need to make sure I let my wife know we have this amount of money for this amount of time. So if this thing goes south, I can always go back and get my job. So the first piece of advice I would say is always have a safety net. Always have kind of a runway. If you're a single student and you're young, you want to start a business, make sure you have the infrastructure of that business mapped out. How are you going to make money? If you want to live on ramen noodles or whatever, do what you have to do, but get that baseline first. Also, after that, make sure that you study your business. It's always stuff behind what we see that really keeps the engine going. If you have a car, the engine, the alternator, all that stuff, it can't be seen to the naked eye unless you lift up the hood. So in your business, look at what is seen. Like, is it a storefront? What's behind the storefront? Make sure you know your business. Make sure you know it. See, I knew when I left my full-time job 3 years ago, I knew, okay, I know that I can get these types of events because I've been doing it these past few years. So now with more time to put into it, I can probably get some more. Yeah. And so you have that baseline. So make sure you have a foundation, a runway, a safety net of money. Make sure you study your business. And the last thing is don't quit. Like, that's the thing. Most businesses and companies that you see that are successful have been around for a long amount of time. And so keep it up, keep fighting, but fight smart. Fight the smart way, but don't quit.
Now, some of your presentations are geared towards mentoring young males. Who was your mentor growing up?
Well, I would first have to say my dad. And I say it because, my dad, I respect my dad. Like, my dad is one of my best friends now. But when I was younger, he would say things to me, Montez, that would hurt my heart. I felt like he was taking my heart away. I remember my AAU team won a national championship when I was 14. And gosh, I'll never forget. Takes a picture, holding the trophy, medals and everything, run up to my dad and say, hey, your baby boy's going to the NBA, Pops, going to the NBA. And my dad is like, son, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice and dying in a plane crash than you do going to the NBA. So my daddy would tell me stuff like that, but he would often say that life isn't going to take it easy on me. And so he said, I would rather be tough on you now so that life doesn't have to be tougher on you. So my dad, I have to say, Pops, what's up? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. And William Thompson he was that guy that saw stuff in me that I didn't see in myself. He wrote all these books, and he was like, these books, the royalties and the sales from these books pay for my house. And I'm like, yo, how do you write a book? And he said this to me. He said, Odell, do you know how to use Microsoft Word? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, you can write a book. Go write a book. And he made it that simple for me. And he was that guy that kind of opened up the world to me because he's a multimillionaire. He invited me in his home, and I was able to like really study under him right after college. So my dad and William Thompson.
Leadership skills. That's an important thing to have. What do you think, what qualities make a great leader?
A great leader has to first understand that it's not about them. That's the biggest thing. And having a family now, being a father and getting married, it's like, you know, it's not about you. Like, you might get with your significant other because you think they look nice or you think that they'll add to your life. But after you like really get intimate with them, you'll see, you know what, if I want to stay in this, it's not about me. It's about us. And so a great leader has to know it's not just about me and my title and all these great things that I can accomplish. It's about who am I leading, who am I serving, and how can I help them move ahead? A real leader wants to see the people behind them or the people following them succeed. That's what a real leader wants.
I know young people, when they get into that leadership role, they become afraid, and they're afraid of rejection. How have you dealt with rejection, and what advice would you give someone to deal with that rejection?
Hug it. Hug it, embrace it, embrace the struggle, embrace the challenges. I often say that as we want to ascend to a higher level, we're going to have huge obstacles. And so one of the biggest things we all hate as human beings, we hate rejection. We hate rejection. And I have a saying, refuse to lose. You know, I never lose. I either win or I learn. And so to the young person that's looking at this or anybody that's listening to this, if you don't experience a lot of losses, you'll never experience great gain. You have to experience loss, and it's hard. Like, it's really, really hard. I'll never, ever forget, Montez, the day I met my wife. It was a Wednesday. I was having a difficult time with the ladies that week. Like, Monday and Tuesday were brutal. I was getting rejected left and right. How they could reject this face, I don't know. But they were, and I didn't want to go talk to my wife. I really didn't. My best friend, he challenged me. He said, oh, go over there. But you won't talk to her. You scared? I'll go over there, talk to her. And now, you know, I'm married to my best friend. And I shudder to think if I didn't embrace that possibility that I might lose one more time, where my life would be. So you've got to embrace it and understand it. Now, go into it intellectually. Don't just say, oh, I want to lose, so I'm going to get into the boxing ring and fight somebody I never fought before. No, not like that. Be smart about it. But in whatever field you want to go into, just know that a lot of no's will eventually lead to that one great yes.
Now, crossing over to the month of February, and this is Black History Month, a lot of campuses and universities, they promote diversity. How would you say the best way to engage non-Black students into Black History Month?
Wow, that's a challenge, you know, because, I mean, be honest, Montez, you know, we happen to be Black. we happen to be Black. When we hear Black History Month, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, and when non-Black people hear it, sometimes if they're not properly informed, it's like, let me be quiet this month.
Right.
But I really think that non-Black students have to understand that we're contributors, like the Black culture, African Americans, we contributed to everything that you see. And so it's good to learn about it so you can know and put proper context on it, so that when you see things that go against that, we see, oh, all Black men are this, or all Black women are this, you can look through history and see that's not the case. Because here's the challenge with being Black sometimes. We're not allowed to be individuals. We're lumped in to one big group. We're not allowed to be individuals. If you see a Black athlete, a Black football player getting excited and being passionate on the sideline, he's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. But Tom Brady does it. Oh, well, Tom Brady's just a passionate competitor. You know, Peyton Manning doesn't do that, but we don't lump Tom Brady and Peyton Manning together. They're two separate individuals. So what we have to understand, and what all people have to understand, is we're all individuals, but a culture, a group of people has contributed positive things to society, just like all groups, just like Latinos, just like whites, just like everybody. So that's the biggest thing. We got to understand, hey, we are different. That's cool. That's okay. But We're individuals. You're Montez. I'm Odell. We're different. You look sharp right now.
Thank you.
And I'm just chilling out. Like, you know, and it's okay. And so they just have to know that we're all individuals, but as a culture, a group of people has contributed to society. It's okay to like us. It's okay. Like, it's okay to smile. It's okay to be friends. Like, we're all people. There's really just one race, the human race.
Right.
And so we have to embrace it. Now, the media and different things, they'll want to divide us, but we have to fight that notion of dissension and say, you know what? Hey, it's Black History Month. Let's learn about somebody other than Dr. King this month.
You have a quote that I really like. Something you said is, the only thing that should be separated by color is laundry. What does that mean?
That basically means that we all need each other. And, you know, I'll be very upfront and honest in what I'm about to say. The only way I've been able to get to this point in my career is by people that don't look like me. And so if I was one of those people that wanted to be shut off, be like, oh no, I don't like this type of person because of the way they look, or the system and the man has designed this system to oppress me and bring me down. If I wanted to do that and just hide in my little huddle, I wouldn't be where I am today. And not to say that I don't have any further to go, but it's just we all need each other. We all need white people. We all need Black people. We all need Latino people. We all need Asian people. We all need everybody in between to succeed. And if we don't embrace that, then we won't grow. We won't grow.
How does that relate to America today?
Oh, how much time do we have? America today, here's the thing that I think, and that's why I'm so keen on competition. America has a set system, and the media is it's a machine. It really is. The media's whole goal is to get eyeballs on the screen, whatever the screen is. And so they know divisive commentary will do that. They know that. So they're going to say, the media, they who controls them, let's put this out there and watch them dance. Like that's how it is. And so what we have to do, we have to fight against that. And so one thing I say often, especially to students, is on social media, if something controversial, if something race-related happens, don't say anything about it on social media. Don't say anything. Nothing. Don't share anything. Don't like anything. Just sit back and watch. In a couple days, it'll be gone. In a couple days, it'll be gone. Then you'll find out how little it mattered. Because that's the thing with social media, with this microwave society. Oh, I'm mad now. How dare you say that? Yeah. America it's a melting pot. So you're always going to have people that don't like a certain group of people. That's it. In 2016? Yeah, in 2016. You're going to have a group of people that don't like certain people. And you're going to have another group of people that they might not like people and they don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You look at those two groups of people and you say, well, bless you. I'm going to pray for you. And you keep it moving. You can't get involved into all that's going on, all the puppetry, all of that. We have to focus on how are we going to move ahead. I need to move ahead with people that are believing the way that I believe and that are acting in the way that I want to act. And guess what? They don't all look like you.
5 days, 4 states, and 6 presentations. How do you manage such a busy schedule?
Well, I've got a great wife that is chomping at the bit for me to be home in a little bit. But my schedule is set up to where I'm really, really busy about 5 months out the year. So 5 months out the year, you know, my beautiful bride knows I'm not going to be around much. But those other months, you got me. Like those other months, I'm home. I do have an office that I work from. I work that office from, you know, this time to that time. After that, I'm home. I'm able to be with the children, able to have fun, and I'll do all of that stuff. And that's how, it's just the give and take with my wife. She's the big one. As far as traveling is my work. Like I honestly believe that. That's the hard part of, you know, having to get up. Yesterday I had a flight that got in to Tennessee at around, I didn't get to my hotel till like 1:30 in the morning. Wow. And so it's like, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm not eating as well as I should be. So you have all that going on, but everything that we do has a struggle attached to it, some sort. I'd just rather be doing this struggle than the 9-to-5 struggle that I did, a while back.
What's your favorite thing about speaking?
Wow. Man, that's a good one. My favorite thing is actually, I look at speaking as an art. I really do. So my favorite thing is performing my art. Like when I get on stage, when I speak to the audience and I see them laugh, I see them think, I see them take action, that's my favorite part, because seeing those light bulbs come on in people's eyes, I really feel like, okay, I'm walking in what I was supposed to do. So that's my favorite part about it.
You speak a lot about family and having that support system. Do you have enough time to go back home to mom and dad and check on them and see how they doing? Are you in touch with them a lot?
Yeah, all the time. My parents, my parents divorced when I was really young. So I have my mom and my stepdad, who I kind of grew up in their house. And then I have my dad and my stepmom. And they're just great. Like whatever I need, they're there for me. I'm not a mama's boy. I'm not a, chip off the old block with my dad. I'm a grandmama's boy though. Like I literally live 5 minutes away from my grandma. Love my grandma. Actually, both of them, they live across the street from each other. So wow. Yeah, they've been best friends for ever, So I go visit them. I love them. They support me. They think I'm famous. I'm not famous yet, but they tell everybody how famous their grandson is. So I'm a grandmama's boy.
Growing up, did you think that this is what you would be doing in life?
No, absolutely not. I didn't grow up and say, I'm going to be a speaker one day. Like it didn't work like that, Montez. I grew up wanting to be everything that I saw on TV. Like my grandma asked me when I was 7, 8 years old, she said, what do you want to be? I said, well, Grandma, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter. They just saved some people. I want to be an actor. I want to be a rapper. I wanted to be everything that I saw on TV. Never thought I'd be a speaker, because I used to think speakers didn't have much to say. But now being one, I'm like, okay, this is what I was being groomed for all this time.
Yeah. Hey man, thank you.
My name is Anthony Adams, and I'm IT support specialist at Northeast State Community College, which is also where I got my start. If I could offer any advice to anyone out there that's looking to pursue their education, my advice to you is just do it. Once you talk to someone here, you will see how easy it is to communicate with the employees here, and they're very willing and helpful to get you on your way to pursue your career.
That concludes the program for today. We have talked with guest Odell Bizzell about leadership, conflict, and success. Community is very important to the students at Northeast State Community College, and this program takes a look at a few of the subjects they find important. Until we meet next time, on behalf of the students, staff, and faculty of Northeast State Community College, I'm Montez Burt, and this is Direction Northeast.